I've got one that can see.
Hey, I shared this with you guys a while back. It's the Epistle of Barnabas. I found a better version of it on this Christopher Glenn channel. But he has a whole lot of books from like the Apocrypha, the Book of Enoch. A lot of ones that have been taken out of the Bible. But if any of you guys don't know, Barnabas was a disciple of the Apostle Paul. And this isn't going to be a long video, but I just want to show you guys something I found. I always kind of thought that, you know, where God says a day with the Lord is 1,000 years and 1,000 years is a day. And he created the earth in 6 literal days. So I'm not saying it took 6,000 years to create the earth, but it was like symbolic where he had 6 days to create the earth. And on the 7th day, he rested, right? So that day of rest represents 1,000 years. And we do know that Christ is going to set up a kingdom on this earth for 1,000 years, right? And it's even in Peter where he says a day with the Lord is 1,000 years. But Barnabas, he really goes in and explains this a whole lot better, or gives you more understanding. Just check this out real quick.
Chapter 15. Furthermore, it was written concerning the Sabbath in the 10 words which he spake on Mount Sinai, face to face to Moses, sanctify also the Sabbath of the Lord with pure hands and a pure heart. And in another place he says,
okay, it's getting ready to come in verse 3. I should have started at verse 3, but you guys hang with me.
If my sons keep the Sabbath, then will I bestow my mercy upon them. He speaks of the Sabbath at the beginning of the creation. And God made in 6 days the works of his hands, and on the 7th day he made an end, and rested in it, and sanctified it. Notice, children, and on the 7th day he made an end, and rested in it, and sanctified it. Notice, children, what is the meaning of he made an end in 6 days? He means this, that the Lord will make an end of everything in 6,000 years. For a day with him means 1,000 years.
Did you catch that? So obviously, we haven't been here billions and billions of years, which we all knew that anyway. But here, let me rewind this. Check this out again.
And the Lord will make an end of everything in 6,000 years. For a day with him means 1,000 years. And he himself is my witness when he says, Lo, the day of the Lord shall be as 1,000 years. So then, children, in 6 days, that is in 6,000 years, everything will be completed.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful, and that's scripture. I mean, he's basing that off of in the beginning, where he speaks of the Sabbath in the beginning. But here's another interesting video that I wanted to add to it.
This Bible,
it's about an 1813 Bible that has timelines. And we know we've been lied to about everything. But this is something that you don't hear anybody talk about. I haven't heard any preachers or teachers. There are a few people that do mention it about 6,000 years. But we all know that the end of the year is not January or December 31st. It's probably April, sometime in April. So what if that eclipse, the X marks the spot, what if it is coming to the end of the 6,000 year? But here, listen to this and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
1813 has something very interesting. It is a facts page that contains a list of people and events in chronological order. It says, whereupon we reckon that from Adam unto Christ are 3,947 years, 6 months and 10 days. And from the birth of Christ to this present year is 1814 years. Then the whole sum and number of years, from the beginning of the world unto this present year is 5,788, 6 months, and the said odd 10 days. In the year 1814 the world really was 5,788 years old. This year, 2022, the Earth would be approximately 5,998 years old. 188 years old. This year, 2022, the Earth would be approximately 5,998 years old.
Okay, so in 2022, if it's 5,998, if we're getting ready to go into 24, because we know January wasn't the beginning of 2024, then it would be right at 6,000 years. So if this Bible is correct, and I'm not trying to predict anything, it's just something to think about, then we are getting ready to come to 6,000. That is where it says Christ makes an end of all things in 6,000 years. But pretty wild. I shared this video a while back on my other channel and it got deleted. But I just want to share this. I've actually seen some other timelines where it does show that we haven't quite been here 6,000 years yet. So that's one thing I think they don't want us to know, because we know nobody knows the day nor hour, but he does say that we will know the season. And I think they're hiding this for a reason, but you guys let me know what you think. Just wanted to share it. Y'all have a good night. Later.
One day, Jesus is coming. You may be at church. You may be at work. You may be asleep. God grant that you will be ready when he makes his personal appearance. My God, what if his appearance occurs on a Sunday morning? My prophetic word to you this morning is get ready, get ready.